Welcome to the Silhouettes of Success podcast with your host, successful entrepreneur, broker, and business mentor, Amber Weitzer. Because success comes in all shapes, sizes, and styles, the Silhouettes of Success podcast is shining the light on industrious women with a collection of curated conversations of intentional inspiration designed to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, feed your soul, and gift you with actionable insights directly from inspirational, everyday women who've shown tenacity, grit, and grace, having taken on the challenges in their lives and business and won. Remarkable, down-to-earth, and relatable, Amber and her guests will share with you uplifting and extraordinary real-life success stories, motivational ideas that just might help spark something within you. With the deepest desire to serve you, help you grow so you can begin to shine the light that will illuminate your very own silhouette of success. So, let's get to it.
Hello and welcome to the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success. Our VIP featured guest is a natural problem solver, a resilient leader, closer, and entrepreneur. She is the creator and founder of Happy Sparkles Treats. She started her first business as a single mom at the age of 19. More recently, she has been recognized as an award-winning real estate professional, successfully leading her team on a record-breaking year. Get ready, Silhouettes, reaching nearly 30 million in sales. She now applies her signature dedication and focus to launching Happy Sparkles. Silhouettes, let's welcome Mindy Robbins to the show. Hello, Mindy. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me today. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm so excited.
Well, it is wonderful visiting and having some time with you, just one-on-one and then one-on-one with everybody as we share your Silhouette of Success story. So let's just kick it off. Have you share a little bit about the early shaping of your Silhouette of Success. Talk a little bit about your background and share with the audience.
So my background is, it's all people business. So I went from retail. I started out in my early years as a makeup artist for Lancome. And that was a super fun job. I did that for a couple of years, and then I moved over into recruiting. So I helped people find jobs and worked. I started out working for an executive search firm, and then worked on staff for hiring positions, and later became an independent recruiter. And then I moved over to real estate. So retail, recruiting to real estate. So it's all the people business. So helping people, bringing connections, making connections, doing that. So that was super fun for me. So the segue into Happy Sparkles came out of the pandemic when I actually have time to solve the problem that we'll get onto in a minute.
Well, that's amazing. So again, everybody knows I'm a note taker. So I'm jotting down some things that you just shared, and we've got the 3 R's.
Yes.
Retail, recruiting, and real estate. And that is a complete, you're right. It's a people business.
It's all people. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and so is the
Fantastic.
bakery. The bakery is supporting people as well.
That's right. That's right. Okay, we're going to pop into that. Who do you think, looking back along your career path, and in the bio or in the intro, it was mentioned, and so I want to tap into that a little bit. Your first business at 19. What
Mhm.
was that?
That was a floral design company. I made arrangements out of freeze-dried roses and arrangements. They were high-end, expensive, special, and handcrafted. I worked at a little floral shop for a short time, and then I moved on when I was doing my Lancome stint, and I started making arrangements for family and friends. And then I just went out and I started pitching it to restaurants, and I landed one big job at a restaurant, and they kept the arrangements for about 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, that was fun.
How cool. What a legacy there.
That was my solo.
That
My
is
solo entrepreneur, yeah.
your solo act.
Yes.
So cool. A lot of times our audience tunes in for different reasons. We know that. And hearing your story, and I'm so excited to dive more into this with you so you can share what you are embarking on and what you've been doing. But best practices are a big key. And so the alarm clock goes off and your workday begins. What might a day in the life look like for you? Would
Uh,
you say you're more structured with a routine? Are you spontaneous? Talk to us a little bit about what works for you.
so both.
Yeah.
So I like to have a plan and an idea, and then I always leave some room in my schedule to be able to say yes to this. Like you emailed and invited me to do this, and I said yes to this, and we made it happen pretty quickly, right?
Yes.
So ideally, I get up at 4 and I have quiet time, reflection time. I plan my day. I look at what I need to accomplish, what I've accomplished, what is feasible for today, how I'm going to get it in. And I have that work session before my daughter wakes up, and just having the silence just really helps me visualize and set my intentions for the day. Then I help my daughter get ready for school. And then my husband and I take her to school to highlight in the morning. Then I come back. I usually get a workout in, a little bit more work. I work until it's time to pick up from school. And then I go on, the household duties of, preparing meals and just making sure everything's running smoothly and properly. We eat dinner, and then I check my work, and then I plan for some silence to go to bed early.
It's a nice bookended day.
Yes,
Waking up at that twilight, there's something magical about that 4 a.m. hour, I think.
absolutely. It's the only time that I've found that there's absolute silence.
Hmm.
And and it's the easiest time for me to wake up.
Yeah. Agree. Agree. Oh, that's cool.
No
Very
delays.
cool.
Yeah.
So, thinking on your journey so far, I always like to tease that I think so many of us are just getting started, regardless of age or where you are in your journey. I always say that you're just getting started. Um, who do you think can you tie back? Who would you say maybe who or what influenced you as you embarked on this career of yours? And you've got a couple here so far that we've talked about,
Right.
but
Right.
pick something. Who do you think has been very influential for you?
So it's a bit of a string for me if I
Hmm.
can string it together along. So in my Happy Sparkles business, I'm a solo founder. I was a co-founder of the real estate company that I'm a part of, but I'm a solo founder and creator of Happy Sparkles. So I can trace Happy Sparkles back to my first experience with an easy bake oven, the love for baking. Baking when my father cooked on Sundays really helped me figure out that I could make a really nice connection with him and fill in that spot. And I saw how happy people were when I was turning out these baked goods, regardless of what they tasted like. Uh, and then, in my teen years, Oprah and Tony Robbins were huge influences on my life. Huge. I would race home from high school to watch Oprah. My dad bought Awaken the Giant Within cassette tape and left it at the house, and I started listening to it when I would clean. And I would say that the two of them made the biggest impact on my life as far as believing that anything's possible, that you can achieve it, like Zig Ziglar said, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. And just really showing that there's limitless opportunities and possibilities for us. I think they're two great examples.
That's phenomenal. And I get tickled about hearing that you're able to tie it back all the way to the Easy Bake Oven,
Yeah,
that creative play. There's so much that goes into, I guess, the research aspect of when we really find our place and what we're meant to do, that it's able to be tied back to those earlier years when you were really able to feel free, right? That creative play,
exactly.
feel free to do what you love. And there is that way to trace back. So that you have taken the time to do that is remarkable.
Thank you. And the other thing I could tie back is even before the Easy Bake Oven, the Mister Rogers factory tours, going to the Crayola, going to the bottling plants. I
Uh-huh.
was absolutely fascinated by that, and I never knew why.
Yeah.
And, I pursued all the other careers, and this vision of having a bakery and factory production was always playing out. It would pop up at church sometimes, when paying attention and then all of a sudden, get a little distracted. And so this has been a vision of mine that's gone way back, I think, since I was a very young child. And
That's
I finally brought it
outstanding.
to life.
Ah, love that. Love that journey. Thinking through your adventures,
Yes.
in your daily life, how do you get unstuck when you need motivation or seemingly there's a barrier between you and a goal or a task? How do you what do you employ to get unstuck?
I don't stay stuck for long because the vision pulls me. And Steve Jobs has a quote, and I don't know it off the top of my head, but it references when you have a vision, you're being pulled instead of pushing. Like my other
Mm,
businesses, oh, there was always a level of push.
mhm.
But in this business, it's the vision is pulling me. So I look at the stuck reference as a puzzle and what can I do next? What should I do next? And then I will lean in even more and put even more dedication and focus, and it resolves. And I'm always pleased with the outcome. So, and I remind myself, if I feel stuck, that whenever I have those moments, to just allow it, and then what comes next is always beautiful, always, without a doubt.
So that's it's fantastic. I would say advice, words of wisdom, but it goes directly back to your bio, problem solver.
Yes,
So
yes,
it's it is so natural and authentic. Oh my gosh, and I can hear it in you.
yeah.
Um,
There's always a way. Yeah,
yes,
I only wanna discuss and surround myself with how we're gonna make it happen.
it's a mindset, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
It's in my
Yes.
DNA.
Yeah. And that's why silhouettes, we need to listen into these folks that have that in their DNA, because not everybody does, or not everybody is able to maybe articulate or know that they can see it, to seek out the solution aspect versus getting stuck and spinning their wheels on, oh, this is a problem. Very cool. Very cool. When you need support as an independent business owner, and I know you mentioned you're solo with what you're doing with the sparkles. You also mentioned that you're a real estate broker. True? Did
Yes,
I gather? Okay,
yes.
but you're a co-founder, if you will. So either way, you're independent. This I know because I too am a broker. We are so independent sometimes. Talking to the walls.
Right?
Where do you turn to for support when you're looking for someone to bounce your ideas off or someone to help you? Where do you turn to?
Okay. Specifically for Happy Sparkles, I refer to my vision. I go
Ah,
back and I honor that because this vision was given to me and it leads me to places that are spectacular. And you'll hear me refer to I am blessed, I was blessed, I continue to be blessed. Some of the things that have happened along the journey cannot be explained otherwise. So I refer to I always, hold on to the vision first. My family, my daughter, my husband, my sister, I have incredible support. My best friends cheer me on. I have friends. I have other mom friends that we're not even like day to day, but I have a bunch of mom friends that are cheering me on, which is incredible. Women, men, everyone. Mentors. I have some incredible mentors. I have a mentor with Tony Robbins, and I'm working with a certified master chef that's been in the business for 35 plus years. That's brilliant, and he will let me bounce and validate things off. And then I'm a part of a fabulous group called DFW CPG. And I was referred to this group by, again, blessing by, someone that I knew that referred me to someone else and said, the best thing you do is get involved in this group. And I got involved. And there's incredible experts and mentors there. And I've made a lot of incredible friendships there. And other brand owners. There are a lot of brand owners and food owners in Dallas and a lot of women food owners. And I'm meeting with another mom that started her business for her daughter today after our call. So I think that solid group helps me find support and celebrate the
serendipitous.
success.
Yeah, I love that. Love that. running out of paper here with all just with that. That's phenomenal. Wow. And how did you connect with the other woman business owner that you're meeting with today? Was that through one of your groups? Was it through social media? She saw you?
No, so I saw a write-up about her and I was incredibly impressed, and then I was like, "Oh, wow, we have something in common," because she started her business for her daughter, and then I looked and I saw her branding and I was like, "That's, like, next level." It took me a couple of years to get mine to presentable like it is now and, beautiful, and I was like, "Wow, this is different, this is special." So I went on LinkedIn and we connected, and I just said, "I love what you're doing, and I think we have a lot in common." And so we just started texting back and forth yesterday, and she's like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun." I said, "I agree." So we're getting together this afternoon
I
to
love that.
share more. Yeah.
That's how I found you.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I love it. LinkedIn, let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
LinkedIn has been an incredible resource for me.
Mhm.
Exactly. Like you reached out to me and I immediately was able to look at your profile and go, oh, yes, you do have a podcast. Yes, I'd like to talk to you. And, then we make the connection and it's quick, it's fast, it's authentic, and it's fabulous.
You know, to expand on that a little bit, I know where I saw you. There was the post that I guess your goodies, your brownies were in a gift basket of some nature over at the Women's Business Council.
Yes, the woman
And
owned
I thought,
box.
yes, I was like, that is so cool. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so funny when you're saying this about the woman you're going to talk to next. I was saying this about you. I'm like, I want to
Oh,
know her. I need to know her. That is so neat.
yeah.
So your story. So let's dive into that. Talk to us about Happy Sparkles Treats. Dive into the inspiration that led you to create and launch this company.
So the inspiration to start Happy Sparkles was to make delicious baked items available to people like my daughter, who's gluten, dairy, nut, and soy free like I am. We can't just walk into a store or cafe anywhere and buy a delicious gluten, dairy, nut, and soy free brownie ready to eat. So I created that so she didn't have to choose between going without and suffering. Because in the early days when she was diagnosed with her food allergy, there was this thought like, well, I'll just eat it and, maybe, it won't be that bad this time.
Mm,
You have to wean off of that after a while because, it's not healthy what happens to your body when you keep, indulging. And the beautiful part of launching that was a surprise about creating this for my daughter is that when I set out to make delicious brownies, because I'm in the same, category with I didn't love any other products that I'd already had on the market. So the beautiful part was to make the delicious brownies, and my husband, who doesn't have any food allergies, loves them just as much as we do. And now we can take them to parties. My daughter can take them to school. Very early on, it was, I think, the highest compliment. There were some boys in her class that were trading Domino's cheese pizza full of, all the things we can't eat for brownies, for these
bam.
brownies. They had no idea that they're gluten, dairy, nut, and soy free, that's the whole point, right? So it's the benefit for us, but it's going from being excluded to
Yeah.
included. And food is a powerful connection and social, experience. So it's so nice to be able to have something that people are excited about, that we can share. That's my
You know,
why.
you your why is amazing. You mentioned
Thank you.
next level earlier. That's next level. That's just off the charts.
Thank you.
Boys and pizza and brownies, huh?
It drives me. That's what drives me. That's what drives me is
Yep.
is the confirmation that I'm on the
Yes.
right track and that I'm doing this for Ruby and beyond. That's my daughter's name. Uh,
Yeah.
and for everyone, that wants to be able to share. Everyone knows someone that's gluten free or dairy free or nut free or soy free. And they're so excited when they can enjoy them with their friend, their loved one, whoever it is, coworkers. People are so excited. It's such a it's a fun mission for sure.
So cool. So, do you have a bakery, or do you do what I've heard you rent a commercial kitchen? Not you, but there is an ability in this industry you can rent a commercial kitchen, or how does that work for you?
So I went through all of the stages. So during
Uh-huh.
COVID, I worked from home and I test batch, hundreds and hundreds. Sometimes I think I wish I would have noted how many batches I went through to find the recipe. But on the other hand, that's not my personality style, and that may not have made it to the finish line. I've been like
Uh-huh.
240, 300, whatever. I just do it until you do what it takes, right?
Right.
So I started out in my kitchen, and that was a great place to start. And the neighbors and the moms in the neighborhood started getting wind that what I was doing. But I never set out to sell them one at a time or bakery style. I always knew I'd be in production. Remember Mr. Rogers, right? I'm going to go into
Mhm.
production and make these at a high speed level. So I got an opportunity from my facialist. Her office manager asked if I wanted to sell my baked goods at their Friendsgiving event. And I was so excited, and I said, "Well, that sounds great. How many customers or how many, packages do you think I'd need to prepare?" She's like, 35. And I was like, "Okay." So I was like, quickly, I was like, "That's 1,000, right?" And I was thinking, "Okay, I gotta find a commercial kitchen." So I found a commercial kitchen to work in less than 48 hours. And when you're determined and you have passion and you have a mission and you have your why, you're unstoppable, right? So
Mhm.
I went and I met the lady. I was like, let's do this. And so I'd never worked in a kitchen before. Did not know how to work the equipment.
Oh my gosh.
None of it. I did watch a lot of I Love Lucy, so I knew that there'd be a lot of comedy.
She's the best.
Oh yeah. So there are times in my life where I could reference some funny Lucille Ball. So I figured it out. I had a helper. That was a successful event, and the outpouring of support was surprising and beautiful to me at the same time.
Mm.
When you're developing and you're knee deep in what you're doing and you're looking at the bigger picture, sometimes it's hard to see like the small, milestones along the way. But I did take note of that and I started incorporating those experiences and really made it personal. Like when people send me feedback, when they send me feedback or they leave feedback or they text me in the middle of the night, I got to hide these from my husband and I eat these in my closet so my kids don't find. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know people hid. I sent some to my a mentor in real estate, and he's like, I didn't get them, and I'm like, and I confirmed the address, and then so I sent him another box, and he's like, no, it didn't arrive, and I'm like, "What's happening?" And he's like, "Oh, my wife admitted that she's been hiding them from me. She's been eating them all." And I was like, "Oh my
Oh.
gosh." So, all of these stories and all of the fun along the way and just the connection that I make with these people, the shocking, funny, inappropriate things that people send me about the brownies, it's fun, and it's just a fuel for the passion for sure.
No way, wait, okay, everybody time out. I just wrote down fuels the vision. So, I
Yeah.
love that you just said that. Wow, oh my gosh. And just hearing you too, the elation in your voice when you're talking about this.
Yeah. It
Oh my
it's yeah.
gosh.
So that's why I don't
Yeah,
stay stuck.
right, right. You've got me unstuck, and I didn't know I was stuck.
Just tap into your vision.
Yes, you. Oh, how thrilling. How thrilling. Wow. So, commercial kitchen, you found it in 48 hours and you
Oh,
were
yeah.
on a mission. And so
Yes.
now what does it look like for you, your operation?
So then, I applied for a local, farmer's market, the St. Michael's Farmers Market. It's a premier, local market that's food only, very exclusive, and, I applied and the director said, "Oh, it's too much like the other vendors," and I'd done my research, and like a real estate broker, like you said, that you had share the same background. I did my comparable analysis. I knew who was there, how
Mhm.
many were already in retail. And the reason that I targeted, and my mentor that's been leading me along the way said, you're not thinking big enough going in the farmer's market. And I thought, I need to do this one though, because a good percentage of them are already in retail. And
Mm,
that's where I want to be. And I was certain that buyers and would be scouting. And I'm certain that I was scouted by Shark Tank on one of my first year there 2 years ago, and I just knew it was the place. So when the director emailed me back and said, it's too much like the other vendor, I had all of my information together and I said, this is how we're different. This is why it's not, the same. We don't compete. It would actually be a nice compliment because you don't have anything like I'm offering. That's why I created it. And by the way, here's 20 testimonials.
Mm,
And where can I drop off my goodies?
that's
So as
right.
soon as I dropped it off at her house, because it was during COVID, I left it on the porch. She texted me before I got home, and she's like 5 minutes away. You're in.
Oh,
And I thought, oh, spectacular. So I moved from that kitchen because, I didn't have a lot of time to vet it. And, the baking is more temperamental than, food truck operation, all that. So, you can bake a chicken in whatever oven and it's going to be fine. But you need, perfection when it comes to baking, with the oven and everything. So after my first farmer's market 2 years ago, I ended up moving kitchens. So I went to this really cool concept called Revolving Kitchen, and it's a kitchen incubator. So you can work out of there. It's like a ghost kitchen. You can rent by the hour. So this is a really great way to start, test it, see if this is right for you without fully investing in a storefront. But I worked there for about a year until I was working to get into production. So now I did what I needed to do at Revolving Kitchen. My earliest shift, my helper that offered to help me, she could only start before her other work shift at 4 a.m.
mm.
So I was getting up at 3 a.m. and people are like, "Oh yeah, bakers get up early." Okay, but getting up once a week at 3 a.m. when you usually get up at 4 a.m., it threw off my It was like jet lag every week. I was disoriented. So it was a motivator, and I was so
Uh,
grateful to not get too comfortable there so I
mm,
could keep pushing to get into manufacturing. So I am officially, and that took about 2 years to find a local manufacturer. And, obviously I can't share any details about it, but other
sure.
than to say I was blessed, blessed, blessed to be introduced to the certified master chef, Michael Robbins, no relation, and to be able to work with this manufacturer. Blessed. So
No,
grateful.
maybe no relation, but sure sounds like it was meant to be at some point.
Oh, absolutely. And
Right?
when we met, I was like, "So you're Robbins with one B, and I'm Robbins with two Bs. So you go around saying one B, I go around saying two Bs." He goes, "Exactly." So he's the coolest guy,
Neat.
crazy credentials. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he worked with me on my project.
Oh my gosh.
Blessed again.
Well you're flying high in this, and you've got me flying high, so I'm gonna just hit the quick pause. Mindy, we're gonna take a quick break to hear from this episode's sponsor, and then we're gonna come right back. My cheeks are just sore.
Is it time to sell your home? Build that dream home? Right size? Or are you ready to invest in real estate? Couture Real Estate Firm is a local female-owned independent brokerage laser-focused on services exclusively tailored to our clients' real estate goals. With our forward-thinking business model, we have a fully mobile, luxury real estate concept allowing convenience, flexibility, efficiency for our clients in style. Amber Weitzer, broker-owner of Couture Real Estate Firm, has over 20 years in the real estate industry and is a second-generation broker. She provides straightforward business practices, integrity, and intelligence with a commitment to a high-touch, consistent customer service experience. We take great pride in our reputation as a strong, referral-based brokerage. Discretion, tenacity, respect, and proactive business practices have earned Couture Real Estate Firm a loyal, repeat client business with a trusted global partner network. We strive for ultimate client satisfaction with successful results, doing it with class, consciousness, and a little avant-garde. In addition to serving our clients and vendor partners, we are extremely honored to be actively engaged in supporting the communities we serve by promoting small businesses, schools, and nonprofits. Real estate is direct sales business at its core, and we are highly trained sales professionals with the Mike Ferry organization, adding dimension to the industry. Passionate about customer service, dedicated to client satisfaction, and driven to achieve successful results for our clients. Call Couture Real Estate Firm today at 817-233-7239 to discuss your real estate goals.
And we're back. Okay. All right, Mindy. Let's, oh my goodness, I'm watching our clock here. I've got a couple more questions. Do you have a few more minutes?
Yes.
I'll keep us really tight.
Okay.
This one's really I get a lot of great feedback when we kind of break into this question, and it's really a two-part question. Was there ever a specific point in time, event, or key situation in your professional life that forced you to take a monumental shift in your business or career? And we may have been talking about it. Positive or painful, how did going through that situation help you grow?
Okay. So I'll make it just about Happy Sparkles. The monumental change that was needed is I needed to make my product shelf stable. So it was fresh baked where it needed to go right in the freezer to keep it safe. And to be into distribution and to grow as much as I want to grow, which is globally, it needed to be shelf stable. And what was required from me to make that step is when I was introduced to the Master Chef, self-funded, I'm bootstrapped, and it was a further investment. And the cool thing about working with the certified master chef is like I went from, baking in a commercial kitchen to, PhD level with this, certified master chef, is how easy it was to sign that commitment, even though most people would think it was absolutely crazy. But what I learned about that experience is that when you have a vision and you trust and you're talking to someone that has 35 years in the industry that believes in it too, that sometimes you have to go for it.
Mm.
So I went for it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I'm so glad I did.
So fantastic. I'm so tickled. Boy, oh boy, this is great. We're going to have coffee one day soon.
Yes, let's do.
Oh, awesome. All right, my lady. Again, there are a couple more questions, and we're going to begin to wrap this up. And so we all crave great resources. You've named quite a few. Is there something special that maybe you turn to that you'd like to share with the audience that might help inspire, uplift, or expand our minds? A book or resource, mentor, anything?
Sure. So my favorite book would be The Big Leap. Mentor, I love Tony Robbins and my coach, Tanya. Podcast, How I Built This. Phenomenal for any business owner. How I Built This.
Okay. Awesome. You hear me scribbling my notes. My pencil's wearing out. I've got to switch pencils. There we go. Fantastic. And keeping the promise to share intentional inspiration with the audience. Do you have a piece of key go-to advice that resonates with you or that you'd like to share with the audience?
Yes.
Okay.
And I said it when I was setting up my headphone. Persist until you succeed.
And you have. But
and
globally yet, right? We've got to keep going.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, my lady. I hate to do this. Oh my gosh, this went by really quick. The stage is yours completely here. Where can our audience go to find and connect with you on your socials and or support you in your continued success?
Oh, that's awesome. I would love to connect. You can reach me at Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn with the handle Happy Sparkles Treats. So the S on Sparkles. And then my website is happysparklestreats.com. And I'd love to connect.
Perfect. And just to remind the audience and let you know that we will include all of your social links in the show notes. So it's easy for them to find you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mindy, it has been a sheer delight visiting with you. Thank you so much for sharing some time today and for making it happen. And we are so honored to hear this portion. We'll have to reconnect in part 2 with the global situation. So thank you for sharing your Silhouette of Success story with us. You are a true inspiration. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Silhouettes of Success podcast. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on all the new episodes. We are here for you and with you. We encourage you to share this podcast on all your socials and pass on the light to help illuminate another silhouette of success. To find out the latest ways to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, and gain actionable insights, subscribe at thesilhouettesofsuccess.com or connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We're grateful that you tuned in. Remember, you are exactly where you need to be, right here with us. This is the Amber Weitzer Podcast, Silhouettes of Success.